I have no idea what just happened. I do not know. Don't know what I pressed. I think I broke something. Welcome back. Yeah, dude, I have no idea what I just did. I switched scenes. I pressed some buttons, and all of a sudden everything was gone. Yeah. The annoying thing, this is gonna start a new stream. But let me check back on what you said before. I saw that Flux keyboard on Kickstarter, but refused to pledge because I have been burnt way too many times on tech projects. Hey, that's a touchy subject. Don't talk about Kickstarters. Sounds like me when I'm trying to record. Yeah, man. Technical issues. Yeah, what I was trying to show before I kamikazed the stream is this. This is my keyboard. It's a Logitech G16, no, G13, I think. This is like a gaming mechanical keyboard, but not so gaming in the sense that like everything lights up different colors and stuff. Not really into that aesthetic. And this is the Logitech G603, which is kind of like meant to go with it. And I really like these because they're like good quality, wireless, low latency. But with the keyboard, I would like to try low profile switches, like ones that don't have so much travel. And also like this is a big thing, which is fine, but I kind of like the clean look of like a slim keyboard. You know, think like the Apple keyboards and stuff. I like that kind of size, but I need to have a numpad, especially for CAD. And I really like these buttons because I assign scenes to them in OBS. Like I press this button and it goes to here. So really like that. So yeah, I want to design something like this layout, maybe a few extra buttons here, and needs to be wireless. So I don't know, maybe it's going to be too hard, but we'll see. Future projects. Got to do a drum machine for now. Now what the hell's going on with this picture? Like, why is it so blue? Like, what did I change that made it blue? And am I frozen again? No? Good. Like, what is making it blue? There's no masks. What is this? This is what the imported photo is. Why does the before and after look different. Dude, what is happening? Okay, I take back everything I said about Adobe Lightroom being good. Look at this. I imported the photo. How is the before and after different at the point of import? Like the point where I just imported the picture. That is the before. I mean, I agree. The blue looks cool, but like, why is it there? Did it just automatically change the temperature or something? I don't know. What? Oh. Wait. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. Just gonna copy these settings. It's so weird. Who knows what's going on with my computer? One minute everything's blue, the next minute stream crashes. The keyboard thing, are you just interested out of curiosity, or like, I didn't think you're not so much a computer person, I guess, right? Like you try to stay, I mean, at least for your music, it seems like you'd like to stay out of the box. This is a picture of this square in Marostica. Like an old picture, historical image, where they're playing full-size chess, like wizard's chess. I know how to crop out this stuff. I like how Stream Elements is just chiming in to tell me that I'm live. I'm hybrid now. Okay, so you are using a little bit of computer action. Do you use a desktop or a laptop? I used to game with the gaming company and built my own rigs for gaming. Oh shit. Oh. You've had quite a interesting um past. Used to game with a gaming company. You mean like you were like sponsored or something, or you were on a team? What does that mean? Oh, I'm going so slow through these photos. Jesus, I've got like 135 photos, and I think I've only done. Oh my god. I've done like 10 photos. So bad. I'm using an M1 MacBook for my music stuff. I compose in my DAW now. I do live jam stuff for mod, but that hasn't progressed any further. Okay. Well, I'm very much in the camp of like composing on a computer. I just think it's like, for me it's comfortable. I get some people don't like that it takes the creativity away from them, but for me it's comfortable. Not a Mac person though. Don't hate me. But yeah, the MacBook would be pretty nice and portable for bringing in with all your other gear. I agree, just need to spend time learning my shortcuts. I use Mac because it's convenient to share with my iPad. Ah, yeah. For daily use and gaming, I prefer Windows. Yeah, I think that's the crux of it for me. It's like, I'm not necessarily a Windows fanboy, although there are things about Apple that I dislike, like just about their business practices, how they make everything so proprietary and incompatible with other hardware. I think, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that, but I'm not like Windows is the best thing ever. Like, I have to use Windows, and it's just that, like, I use CAD software and stuff, and like primarily SolidWorks, and I use a bunch of other softwares as well that are just only available on Windows. So it's like, I just go where the software goes, If all of a sudden everyone started moving to Linux or Mac OS and all the software was there as well, and the experience was better and it was industry standard, then I would change as well. Windows is way more convenient. Apple just owns for audio stuff. Yeah, like the core audio is pretty nice. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not totally convinced. I can see that like something that's annoyed me in the past is that Windows doesn't do aggregate audio devices. So you can't easily have two USB audio interfaces and have them both work at the same time. And you can kind of do that on Mac, but it's still not perfect. Like, they'll still get out of clock sync and you'll get eventually some tearing where the two devices have to get back in sync. But it does it better because with the core audio. But like if you got good audio interfaces, like if you got all RMA stuff, like I don't think, or RMA stuff, I mean I just have like a Focusrite interface, and I don't notice any difference. And to be honest, there's always these battles of like what's better for music, and like I use Ableton, and in the Ableton Facebook pages and stuff, people are always like, yeah, you have to get a MacBook if you're going to use Ableton. But then like the majority of the posts where people have problems, like where their CPU is spiking and stuff, it's like it's usually on MacBooks. Maybe it's just because more people are using MacBooks, so there's more Mac users in there in the first place. Therefore, like the complaints are more Mac related because there's just more Mac users. But yeah, I don't know. Like I use a pretty decent desktop PC, and I've never had audio issues. Like I never had quality issues or latency issues or anything on Windows. Until they update the OS and it breaks everything, lol. I'm using an aggregate device with two audio interfaces and my Typhon. Yeah, for that kind of setup, I think Mac probably works a lot better. A new audio interface is the only thing on my list. I have a cheap ones that lower the quality of my audio. Yeah. On the updating the OS thing, I think this is like a remnant of past Windows problems. Like there are things that have scarred ex-Windows users who now are Mac users, and they think back to their time on Windows and they're like, oh yeah, the updates always break everything and whatever. Or they force you to do updates and stuff. I'm not saying this is you, I'm just saying that this is like what some people say. But like Windows stopped doing automatic updates, I think, with Windows 7. So it's already been more than 10 years since they've had automatic updates. So like when people say, oh yeah, they always force you to do updates and stuff, or like it'll just close your software and start updating. Like that was true 10 years ago, but it's not true anymore. And with updates breaking things, like, sorry to say, but that's happened way more in the last 3 or 5 years or something. That's happened way more with Mac. Yeah, Mac OS Ventura absolutely broke half of my VSTs. Yeah, Ventura broke everything. Big Sur broke everything. Like, yeah, I mean, obviously changing from x86 processors to ARM processors is going to break everything, but like I've seen way more Mac OS, at least in the audio production world, I've seen way more Mac OS updates that have broken things than Windows. I really prefer Logic as my DAW. I tried Ableton and wasn't super stoked on it. Yeah, I think the UI of Logic is nice. Like I haven't used it myself, but I've recorded with I've recorded in a studio where the engineer was using Logic, and it looks pretty like it. I mean, they do all of the same things, but the UI looks nice. And I like how they put like a little icon of the instrument for the track and everything. It's pretty cool. But Ableton, I think, like the main criticism, people are like, oh, it looks like a spreadsheet, and it's, everything is like very plain and very grid like. But I don't know, for me it works, and it's not like I don't see any of them being that much better than each other. Like every DAW has its thing, but at the end of the day, it's about whatever you're comfortable with. Like you can do the same stuff in every door basically. Um, Wait, I understand why everyone says get your system stable and keep it that way. Yeah. Yeah, some people like to even just disconnect from the internet and just not do any updates or anything, but I don't know. I always update stuff. Like I'm on the Ableton beta program. So I'm always on like pre-release beta Ableton just because I like having the latest stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I never really experienced anything breaking, so like I understand for people who like it's their livelihood, but for me just as a hobbyist, like I never have noticed anything breaking. I can't even use Final Cut right now because of an update. Windows never made me struggle this hard. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I mean, um, I've never been like a long-term Mac user. Like, I've used Mac here and there, so I don't know really the how good or how bad it is. But like, I hear a lot of people complaining about Mac as well. So I don't know. At least in my setup, I don't have any problems for what I'm trying to do anyway, and right now anyway. I will say there are some tools which I lost when I updated to Windows 11, but they were like really obscure tools developed from somebody's GitHub that never had like a company behind it. Like I used to use this thing called asynchronous no synchronous audio router, SAR, and I would use that to create virtual for like virtual sound cards or virtual endpoints and virtual routing. So I could route out of Ableton into like Discord or into OBS or whatever. So when I'm working in like an Ableton project, I could send the sound out of Ableton into like a call or into like a video share or OBS or whatever. And that tool broke when I updated to Windows, but that was the only thing that broke. Like all my VSTs, all my other software, everything is fine. Just this one tool from like a small time developer that I found on GitHub broke because he hasn't made any new commits since like 2018. And like Windows 11 made some huge changes. Like they brought in the secure boot thing, and they brought in the trusted platform module. So like software has to meet a lot of like really strict requirements now. So for an indie developer, that it makes sense that it broke. But like it's pretty great for like if in my experience to make such a big change and barely anything changed. Like barely anything broke. Oh my god, I'm just ranting so much. I'm doing zero photo editing. I'm done with this photo. Let's go to this one. Need to get back into this like speed editing mode. yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, maybe that came across like I'm a big Apple hater, or a big MacBook hater. I don't hate their products. Like, I think MacBooks are sick. Like, I think the industrial design of them is awesome. Like, they're super nice, good quality machines. And the same can be said about basically every Apple product. Like, also iPhones, iPads, and everything. The quality is great. The design is great. Um, I'm just not hugely into the operating system and the company's operating procedures. But for somebody just using products and making music, making content, whatever, just use whatever works, whatever you're used to. Like, at the end of the day, it's just tools. You got to get stuff done. So don't think about it too much and just use the tool that helps you get the job done in the quickest, easiest, and best way possible for you. Like, that's the reason why I'm using Lightroom right now. I don't want to be paying for Lightroom, and I would definitely like to find an alternative, and I probably will do that in the near future. But right now, I just want to get a bunch of photos edited. So, I'm also using something that I'm not a fan of now. But it's because gotta get stuff done. Subscription model that companies are using is aggravating. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Like, subscription models, you'll own nothing and be happy about it. Yeah. Subscription models, I mean, I think what I much prefer is, like, you buy this version and you buy this major release. You get some minor releases after that for free, and then you have to buy the next major release. That I'm okay with. Like, Ableton does that. Not to be fanboying about Ableton, it's just an example. Like, also DaVinci Resolve do that. You buy DaVinci Resolve 17 and you'll get 17.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, whatever. And then they'll release DaVinci Resolve 18 and you have to pay, like, I don't know, less than a quarter of what you paid for 17, like the full version. You pay like a much smaller amount to get the next update. That I'm okay with, because if you choose to not pay for it, you still have the previous version. And if you choose to get the next version, you pay a smaller amount and you can do it whenever you want. And yeah, there's no pressure to update. And even like big CAD software companies like SolidWorks do that. Yeah, that's the way to go. But just like Adobe, they're like, yeah, you need to pay us $80 a month, and if you stop paying us, you get nothing. And if you pay us, well, actually, the $80 a month is a locked-in year contract. I think if you want it not locked in, you have to pay like $120 a month or something. So it's like the $80 a month, you got to pay that for a year. So you're going to pay like over $800, $900 for 1 year. And then at the end of it, if you cancel, you have nothing. Bitwig is like that as well. I don't mind that model. It's a monthly subscription to basically lease the products. Yeah, that's the thing, the leasing. Like, I understand it. I understand the subscriptions from the perspective of like we have a team of, you know, as a software company, it's like we have a team of devs who are working on this shit full time all the time. And if you just pay for it once and get updates forever, then we're losing money because we're just paying people to make updates and you're not giving us anything more. So I understand, like, you have to keep keep monetizing it continuously from the users who are still using it. But yeah, pay for it like you know, if the devs work on it for a year, you need to pay for that year. So you sell the update and that pays for the work that they did. I think that's a great model. Like, yeah. Just not the leasing. Like, leasing is really shitty. So I think my plan is, once I've finished these photos from Italy, because I had a lot of stuff to do and I've caught up on a fair bit, a big chunk. But once I finish these pictures from Italy, I'm gonna just like post a bunch of stuff on Instagram and whatever, and then I'll probably take the time to learn something new. Like, I'm looking at trying an open source software called Darktable, which is a bit like Lightroom, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a lot different to use, and it's going to be a learning curve. But if I can get results that I'm happy with from that, and it's not too difficult to use, then I'll probably swap. But we'll see. I already tried it with another software on one photo raw and didn't work for me. Sure, if I gave it more time it would be okay, but yeah, it was, I don't know, I wasn't that impressed. This looks pretty cool. Sounds like a good plan. I'll check out Darktable, especially if it's free. I have some AI art I'd like to edit a bit. Oh, cool. Yeah, I can show you Darktable. I think I have it installed on here. Hopefully this doesn't kill the stream. It does take a bit to start up. Like, it opens this command prompt window for some unknown amount of time. Not exactly sure what's happening. Oops. Yeah, so I haven't explored it too much, but it's a pretty sort of similar layout. Like, you have your collections of photos, and then it has this. I'm really selling it. Yeah, look, I haven't used it much yet, so, and it's open source. You can't expect like really fancy splash screens and stuff when it's loading in. I guess it has a lot of stuff that has to load. Lightroom does that too. They just have a fancy loading screen. But yeah, so I don't know. This is the GUI, and it has this tab, Darkroom, where you can edit, but I don't have any photos loaded in there, so I don't know. It looks pretty similar. Where can you download it? Let me check. I think they have a website. Dark table. Yeah, I think they have a website. I don't know if this link will work. Adobe are gonna love this if they ever tune into this stream. This photo makes me laugh because when we we were like walking and I'm standing there with my camera trying to take a picture of this little butterfly on the branch, and I'm looking through the viewfinder, and all of a sudden George's face just like pops into my field of view. And she just like snuck her face into the frame. Like she was trying to be funny, but then I took a picture of her with the butterfly. Yeah, it was just funny, like when she snuck her face into the frame. I might even have a video. I think I was taking a video at the time. Shot came out awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah, Georgia always looks good on camera. I don't know how much she likes it when I've got her face blasted on the stream, but she looks pretty. I think I'm reaching my fatigue limit. It's 11:30. Might have to wrap this up soon. Don't worry, my wife also hates it if I share her art in my videos. Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird one, right? Like, yeah, I don't know. I guess people are self-conscious, I get it. But, yeah, I've gotten used to just like not caring what people think, so it's a mental strain. Yeah, I'm getting a bit mentally strained. I'll finish this one. What are you up to for the rest of the day? It's like, what time is it there? It's like 2:30 in Los Angeles. But you're on the West Coast or Midwest? Can't remember. $2:30, yeah. Yeah, I have the world clocks on my phone because one of my friends is living in Irvine, California. So I was got to check when I can message him. Got any plans for the weekend? working on getting my MDX hooked up into my setup currently, and I'm building an ambient fairy tale track for my wife to draw to. Cool. Getting my MDX hooked up into my current setup. I have a question. Have you ever used the SPDIF out on the MDX? We might visit some friends, but my wife and I usually draw and make music together during the weekend. Dude, that's awesome. Just chilling out and doing something creative together. So good. Don't have SPDIF input on my interface. Yeah. I think mine has it, but I haven't looked in a while. I'll have to check it out. But I was having a discussion with... I still haven't had a chance to use it. Yeah, I was having a discussion with Yesa the other day about this drum machine. And I was trying to convince him, I was like, you know, I think it might be nice to have... right now it's Bluetooth connection issue. Gotta swap dongles. Okay. Yeah, I haven't used Bluetooth on the MDX so much, so don't have too many tips for you on that. Yeah, I was having this discussion with Yesa the other day. Yesa, I don't know if you know, like, it's Jesse on the forum. He's Dutch, so it's pronounced Yesa. Yeah, we're having this discussion about whether the drum machine should have SPDIF or like some kind of digital outputs. And in my opinion, I think that digital connections are nice. Like digital audio is nice because you don't have to worry about gain staging. You don't have to worry about noise in cables. You don't have to worry about latency of like analog to digital, digital to analog conversions. So I'm like big advocate for, if there is some digital element in the setup, then try to make everything digital. Because the less converting between analog and digital, the better, in my opinion. But Yesa doesn't want to have a device with an RCA jack on the back because it looks very unprofessional. And I agree, but it's like, I don't know. I think maybe it'd be nice to have SPDIF. If I could record lanes over USB, I'd shit my pants. Yeah. I mean, that would be ideal. It's just that USB, it's really hard to make drivers for products for USB. Like, that's the thing with, I'll eventually get an interface that can support it. Yeah. That's the thing with, like, even with mod, and USB sound mode or sound card mode, it's just like it works as like a what do you call it, like class compliant sound card, but just Windows like because of the sound on Windows is more complicated. Like you really need a specific Windows driver for audio interfaces, and it's expensive to make one, or complicated to make one if you want to do it yourself. So yeah, it's just tough to make devices support USB audio, and also like having more than one USB audio device also just doesn't work on most operating systems. So I don't know, there's not really great solutions for digital audio that's like cross compatible with everything. SPDIF only supports 2 channels. ADAT only supports 8 channels. I think like the future of digital audio is audio over IP, like plugging things into each other with Ethernet cables and using like Dante or AVB or something, and then you can have like as many channels as you want, low latency. It's just uncommon and expensive at the moment. The Dreadbox Typhon really spoiled me with a MIDI slash audio over USB. I don't know this product. Let me look it up. What is it? Dreadbox Typhon. Yes, change to English, please. Okay. So it's an analog synth with USB out. I mean, I guess it's digital at some point. That's pretty cool. I love the Ethernet option for hookups. Yeah, me too. I mean, it has digital stereo effects. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it has to go to digital at some point to get the audio out. Yeah, Ethernet I think is the way to go in the end. At some point we'll just be plugging in all of our devices into an Ethernet switch, like a hub or a router. And yeah, everything should work over Ethernet. Also like MIDI 2.0, audio over IP, video over IP. Unless people start doing it with like USB-C and stuff, but USB-C, you have limited cable lengths. Like you can't have more than like 1.5 meters for like high-speed data and audio and stuff. So I don't know. Ethernet seems like the way to go, but let's see. I think I need to wrap it up here, man. I'm going to a wine festival tomorrow, and I need to organize myself. Cable routing is miserable. I use an Area Touch, which is MIDI 2.0 MP device. Oh, sick. I haven't seen many MIDI 2.0 devices yet. Cool. That's dope. Yeah, man, get some sleep. Yeah, man, I'm glad we got to talk too. Thanks for sticking around for this whole time, even through the fail when the stream broke. Yeah, it's been nice chatting, dude. Sorry if it's weird, like me sort of talking to myself. and watching me try to struggle through editing 10 photos in 2 hours. Definitely need to speed that up again. But yeah, thanks heaps for sticking around, dude. Good talking to you, good hearing about what you're up to and learning more about your previous jobs and stuff too. That was really cool, like finding out about the what do you call it? Radiograph and the military stuff, and you never told me about the gaming thing, but we can talk about that next time. Tune in on your next ones. Really like your photos. Thanks, dude. Looking forward to it. And if you're ever live streaming, I'll keep an eye out too. I'm subscribed on your channel, so keep an eye out there. But yeah, all right. I'm gonna wrap it up. Thanks, dude. I'll talk soon. I can't remember if I replied to you on the forum, but I'll get onto it if I haven't. And enjoy your Saturday afternoon. Not smart enough to live stream. Of course you are. You can do it. Alright, dude. Thanks for tuning in. What am I doing? I need to figure out which buttons I gotta press. Catch you later. See you, dude.